Hey guys, so this is going to be a short video today. This week has been crazy for me, and I did not get the studying done that I wanted to this week to put out the next video in my series. So I've been thinking about what I want to say, and I'm just going to share something personal with you guys. And I'm just going to be really honest. Sometimes people don't like to talk about this stuff. I have no shame with it. I don't think there's anything to be ashamed about. I have lived under the poverty line my entire life. When I was growing up, my parents were very poor. They really struggled financially. So when I say we were poor, I mean we were dirt poor. And so I grew up in this mentality of just never having enough, and my parents were stressed about money because who wouldn't be in that situation? My husband and I, we have struggled for our entire marriage. In some ways, I would say we're not as bad off as I was growing up. In other ways, I'd say, it's just been different. We've had to accept government help, which was very, very humbling for me and very hard for me to accept and admit. Every time I would go into the store with my food stamps card, I would just feel so ashamed, and just hope that nobody saw it. I've talked about this before, my husband has lost his job twice in the course of our marriage, and we've lost our home both times. If it were not for our family, our kids would have been another statistic. You know how they say 1 in 5 kids goes hungry? Well, that would have been our kids. My husband and I know what it's like to go hungry. We have gone hungry. I mean, there have been countless times when we did not have enough to eat and we chose to feed our kids. And our kids have never gone without, but my husband and I have gone without a lot, including food at times, including things that people consider to be basic necessities. So because of this experience, I've definitely have struggled with having what they call a poverty mindset, just living in a mindset of lack, where there's never going to be enough and you kind of have to hoard what you have. And I have struggled because my heart, and I think the heart of a lot of people who goes through financial difficulties, is for others who are struggling in the same way. And we just have this desperate desire to share what we have because we know what other people are going through. We know firsthand what it is like. And so one of my biggest dreams for the past several years has been to help people who are struggling like we did, to have enough to help other people who need help, because we received so much help. We had family who put a roof over our head. We had people who would go grocery shopping and just bring us boxes of groceries. We have had people who have helped us in so many different ways over the years, and I have wanted, and my husband has wanted to be able to be that person for others. But I have struggled with guilt over the years when I would do something, even if it was as simple as making a big batch of bread and then giving a couple loaves away. I would just hear this voice in the back of my head saying, you need to save that because you need to make sure that your kids have enough to eat and you don't run out of food before the week is over. And I've never really listened to that voice, to be honest, because something in my heart has always told me that God will provide. And I could tell you story after story of miraculous provisions that have happened. Say somebody happens to be over at our house during dinner time and we're getting ready to eat, and then we say, why don't you just stay for dinner? And we know that we only have so many meals, and if we feed these people who are here, then we're not going to have enough to get through the week. But we do it anyway, and then guess what? Somebody shows up with a box of food. I have had this happen so many times. And basically, what I'm getting at with all of my rambling is to say that the biggest lesson, one of the biggest and most freeing lessons I've learned in my life, is everything that we are given, it is not just for us. Anything, any possession that we own, anything we have, whether it's material or immaterial, it could be possessions, it could be food, it could be a car, or it could simply be the love and joy. It could be humor, it could be character qualities that we possess. It is, none of it is just for us. It is for us to share. It is anything that is given to us to flow through us. It blesses us. Yes, it is for us. It blesses us, but it can't stop with us. It's meant to go through us and bless those around us. That is what it is for. And if we wait until we think we have enough to give, then we will never be at that point of being able to give. The point is to give what we have, no matter how little it may be. It brings to mind the story of Jesus and the widow who offered her 2 coins. And he said that her offering was accepted by God because she gave everything that she had, as opposed to the Pharisees who were giving large sums of money, but it wasn't a sacrifice for them. It was, they were doing it to look good, and the widow was giving what she had because it was her heart to give. And generosity or giving is not something we do, it's something that we are. It's a way of viewing life and a way of being in the world in which we see everything that we have as not just being for us, but as being a way that we can bless those around us. Because that is why we are here on earth. We are here to love those around us. It is that simple. We overcomplicate it. And everything that we have, whether it is our possessions or our gifts, our abilities, our personality, it is for us to use to bless others and to love those around us. They say that compared to the rest of the world, even an American living in poverty is rich. And I've been thinking about that lately and really letting that hit home for me in those moments when I feel I really, really want to help so and so, but I don't know if I can justify it because we just don't have enough. Then I just remind myself, but I'm rich compared to most of the world. Of course I have enough. If I have a roof over my head, I have a home that can be a shelter for somebody. If I have food on my table, enough to get through this day, then I have food that I can share with others who don't have food. I was just reading Matthew 6 today, and the whole point of Matthew chapter 6 is basically boils down to 2 things. It's about living from the heart. It's about the fact that religion is supposed to be about the heart. It's not about doing anything to be seen or to look good or for outward actions and appearances. It is about living genuinely from the heart, giving from the heart, not letting anybody see that we're giving, but doing it because that's what our heart's desire is, and we don't care who is watching or who sees, but it's who we are and it's what we're going to do regardless. And then the other point of the chapter is trusting, not worrying about our lives, whether it's about food or about clothes or about anything else. The author of The Shack would say, I can't think of his name right now, but not wasting today's grace on tomorrow's problems. Each day has enough grace of its own, and we're supposed to be living from the heart in the moment, doing what we feel called to do because we are passionate about it and living genuinely. And that is what giving and generosity is all about. It is about looking, we have been blessed for today, and we're going to give out of what we have today for those around us, because that's why we're here. We are here to change the world by loving the people that are around us, by sharing and giving of the blessings that we have, whether they are material or immaterial. We are connected to an infinite source of light and love and goodness and anything that we need, we have access to in any moment, whether it is strength, love, or patience, or food to get through the week. We have access to it. All we have to do is trust. And we have to live genuinely from the heart in the moment, remembering what our purpose is. It is to receive the love, receive the blessing, and then give it back out. It comes through us to be given out. It blesses us on the way. Yes, it is for us, but it's not just for us. It's like a stagnant lake. If water is flowing into a lake and it does not flow out, then the water is not a blessing anymore, and the lake becomes stagnant. The water needs to flow through the lake to create life in the lake. So we see that it is only by letting the blessings flow through. It is only through generosity and giving of what we have for those around us that we become alive, that we receive the benefits of the blessings that we are given. So I just wanted to share that. This is one of the most profound lessons that I have learned, and maybe this would be a no-brainer for some of you, but for me, having grown up the way that I did and having experienced the financial difficulties that I have throughout my life, this was a big lesson for me to learn, and it has been so freeing to know that I don't have to feel guilty about giving. In fact, that is why I am here. If I have enough for the day, anything that I have is meant to be shared, and I have a Father who will provide whatever I need because I am living in a love relationship between Him and the world around me as a channel of His love. So I'm learning to see that my entire life, the entire purpose of my life, is to be this channel of love, which can come in the form of many different blessings between my Heavenly Father and those around me. That's what it's all about. So every interaction between me and another person, every moment of my day, although, I'm not saying that I do this perfectly every moment of my day, but this is what I'm learning, is that every moment is an opportunity just to look and see, what do I have that I can give right here, right now? Maybe it's just a smile. Maybe it is taking a minute to stop and talk to a stranger. Maybe it's calling the store clerk by name and showing them that I noticed them. Maybe it is a simple text message to somebody who doesn't like talking on the phone to let them know I'm thinking of them. Maybe it's actually picking up the phone and calling, offering somebody a meal. It could be sharing what I have, even when I don't feel like I have enough, knowing that blessing, that I will be more blessed by the giving than anything that I could receive back from the sharing. It could be opening up my home and inviting people in. It could be offering a listening ear, looking to see what people need and doing that, because most people won't ask for what they need. And one of life's biggest joys is to just be able to step in and take care of the people who allow you to do that for them. All of these are ways that we can give and share. There is always something that we can do. Even when it feels like we don't have enough, even for those of us who struggle financially, there is always something. As long as we are alive, as long as we are breathing, as long as we can speak, as long as we can love, as long as we can give somebody a hug, there is something that we can do. There's some way that we can bless others. There's some way we can be generous with our being, with our existence. So that's all I've got for you today. Be loved, be happy, be at peace, and thank you for watching.